next guest is an author, but is also the writer behind some of your favourite soap storylines once upon a time.
She's now using her time as a soap opera writer as inspiration for her latest novel. Here it is. Anna Carey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's great to have you with us. Congratulations on the new novel. We're talking about the soaps there. I was looking at this up, right? So a journalist with the likes of the Irish Times, scriptwriter, podcaster, musician. Face painter, though, came up. Did you do face painting once upon a time as well?
No. There's another author called Anna Carey in the US, and maybe she was a face painter, but I have definitely never been a face painter.
Well, this is it, because I was Googling and this is the power of AI. So there you go. Trust your sources.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Seriously.
Okay, well,
you do our face now? No, you can't. We're not going to give it a go.
Well, I thought it was a random one, but listen.
I could do a tiger.
That'd be fine.
You have had an extremely varied career, though, with author now. How are you finding that?
Well, I mean, my first book came out back in 2011. But my first books were for YA, so they were for younger readers. So, Love Scene, my new book, is my second book for adults, and that's a bit of a shift.
Because Our Song did, your first book for adults, did incredibly well. Again, people seem to be screaming out for kind of romantic books, TV series, everything like that. So Our Song is about this band. Love Scene is set in Soapland.
It is.
Tell us about this.
So it's about a scriptwriter called Annie McDermott who moves back to Dublin to take a job at an iconic Irish soap called Northside, which was her favourite show growing up, and it's her dream job. And then she finds she has to share an office with this guy called Art Sullivan, who was kind of her college nemesis. And the last time she saw him, he was literally laughing in her face for wanting to write for soaps. And now here he is, writing for a soap after years being a sort of golden boy of indie cinema. So they're clash from the start, but then they find out that somebody might be trying to sabotage Northside. And so they have to work together to save the show, and sparks fly.
Sparks fly. Will they, won't they?
Oh, well, they will.
They better. They better.
They will, don't worry.
How do you keep that interesting whenever it's kind of the hate at first sight? It's the story everybody knows. We know we're going to get to at the end, but at the same time, to build up the drama, to have that will they, won't they?
I think it's always got to be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So it sort of builds as it goes along. So it's like they're getting a bit closer, or something might happen, but then he's going to be really annoying. And she's, going to why did I ever think I could, I could like this guy? So it's all about sort of pacing it, and that's kind of the fun of writing it, is to try and make it believable while keeping those sort of sparks going along the way.
It is the last 2 nights I've just been reading it, and I've got a smile on my face every step of the way. But you're after bursting apart my world, because as someone who's really starting to get back into soaps, you use work on Fair City.
I wrote scripts for them as a freelancer.
As a freelancer, right. In this, there is a writing room where all the writers are together. In real life, there isn't.
No, there wasn't. And I couldn't, that's why I had to take a lot of liberties with Northside's production system, because the reality of the job, there was no shenanigans. It was just a lot of very hardworking people. In my case, we were all working from home. You might come in for the odd meeting, but that was it. So there was no office drama or anything like that. But that would not make for a very good romantic comedy.
No.
They'd just be at home and maybe on a Zoom meeting every so often. So there would be no sparks flying there. So
there would be no sparks over Zoom.
I had to just be creative with the sort of production setup.
How have you found the move into novels from the young adult, the success that you had in that genre, then to move into this new theme?
I really loved writing for young people, and I'm really proud of writing for young people. And sometimes, children's books don't get the credit they deserve, but then...
A little bit like soaps,
exactly. And romantic comedies as well, and romance novels. So I'm kind of used to working in these fields that are a bit underestimated, but I love...
But still have such huge audiences.
I know. Well, they still don't get the credit they deserve.
Is there something to be said for the fact that these are geared towards a female audience and therefore dismissed, perhaps?
Yes, there might be something to that. Yes.
Because we were talking about the people who have worked on soaps, whether it be in front of camera or behind the camera. An awful lot of people, like Russell T Davies and them, will say soaps is where you learn your trade, you learn your craft, because you have to be good at it. And we just quoted a line from Coronation Street, your favourite soap, which is...
it's not a smile, it's a lid on a scream.
Bette Lynch said that, and it could be one of the most glorious lines in the entire world. What do you make of soaps in this? Because you've worked on them and they are kind of reflecting true life.
Yeah.
They've got to be really hard to work on.
Well, there's a bit in Love Scene where Annie and Art are arguing about the sort of melodramatic storylines because he's sort of rolling his eyes and is like, yeah, these shows are so important to people. And she yells back at him. It's like, the stories might be melodramatic, but the emotions are real. And that's the thing that soaps can do really well. Like, yeah, not everybody's going to be dealing with murders or kidnappings or being jilted at the altar. But you know, the feelings behind them and the acting and the writing can be really convincing. And I think in a show like Corrie at its height, you know, you had characters like Bet or like Karen and Steve, like Saran Jones going on to great things since then.
Yeah.
You know, you get incredible acting and you get incredible writing. And I was really pleased recently that Ryan Gosling was interviewed on an American podcast and they said, like, who are your acting heroes growing up? And he named Deirdre Hall, this American soap star. And the guy interviewing him laughed and clearly thought he was joking, but he wasn't. He was like saying, you know, those actors have to be perfect all the time and with very little time to prepare, and they have to learn their lines really quickly and they have to deliver great performances. So if you see a line like, you know, Beth delivering that line, she probably had like a couple of read-throughs to rehearse that.
And then boom.
And, yeah, Julie Goodyear just knocks it out of the park.
Nailed it.
Listen, Love Scene, it's out now. Again, on my AI was looking up, it said you got stuck into writing this 3 days after you released Our Song?
I got stuck into writing it 3 days after I finished the first draft of Our Song, so that's not totally wrong.
Wow, so something is right. So what's working at the minute then? You're straight into another one?
I am writing a book about Annie from Love Scene's best friend, so it's her own love story.
Rue.
Yes,
Rue. Oh, Rue is really good in this book, by the way.
Thank you. We're going to get her own book.
Oh, I love Rue. I'm big into Rue. Okay, it's called Love Scene. It's by Anna Carey. It's out now. Do you want to put a smile on your face? Will they, won't they? This is what you want. Anna, a pleasure having you in. Thank you so much.
Pleasure being here.
Cheers.